Okay, Damien, I got a problem with you. Well, it's not so much of a problem. I told Draco to pretend that you guys were dead. You and Draven both. But then again, I want you to pretend that Draco's dead. That means that you can't make videos about him and harass the hell out of him. And then he, in turn, cannot retaliate and harass the hell out of you. You see where I'm getting at? That's the safe way of going about it, is pretending neither one of you exist. Period. Okay, but I do have a problem with you, and we're gonna talk about this for a second because I'm kind of really ticked off at you. Okay, you were called a name that I was called the other day. You thought it was funny, and you laughed at me and thought it was hilarious. You put LOL, laughing my ass off, LOL, all that kind of stuff. Really, come on, grow up. But when you got called that, I heard your video. I heard you and Dashy talking. I heard you say the person that called you that. The same one that did me, like I said. But you sat there and you got all upset right before you went to dialysis. I heard that. And you started crying. Right then, red flag, block. Immediately. Done it once, he'd do it again. I am not joking about this stuff. But to bring you back to a reality check, I'm telling you right now, what he said about you is not true. I do know that. There has been no shown indicators that you're anything like that whatsoever. And I agree with your mom, 100%. Yes, I heard her say, I'm not one of those. You're not one of those. But see, you also said it. You're not one of those. See, I have to take your word at face value. I don't dig in everybody's business like you think I do. I don't. But I believe you. I've seen one screenshot, okay, that was a little sketchy. But you know something? It was on role play. I get that. I ignore it. Because that's only the one thing the person's after anyways, role play shit to begin with. Because if he was after the real deal, where he lives, that kind of shit goes on worse there than it does here in the States. That's no joke. I already looked it up. I already looked all this stuff up. See, I told you, I investigate a lot of stuff, not just people, everything. It doesn't matter, it don't matter what it is, what subject it could be. I will look it up and I will study it for a while. But when you got called that, and it really broke my heart because you did get called that, and I know better, and everybody else knows better. But to hear you get so upset over it broke my heart even more because, I know that you're disabled. I know you've got kidney problems and all that kind of stuff, and I get that. My mom went through a lot of shit when she had cancer, so I know what you're going through. And I'm not trying to make amends for everything or anything like that. I'm not. But I just want, the fighting's got to stop. That's all there is to it, And I honestly, and being serious, I do believe you that you're not. Okay, Jerry, but now I have a problem with you calling me idiotic, a moron, and unintelligent. Have you looked in the mirror lately? Have you? Boy, I've not made a video about you for anything. I could have about the 11-year-old. I could have been a smart ass about all that kind of stuff, but I chose not to. I did it in DMs, and that was on DMs. They're trying to get you to understand that just because you call me names and stuff doesn't mean I'm not intelligent. That was tweaked, and I know it was. I'm not stupid on that part either. See, that's what you don't get either. I don't just look at people. I don't. I go into the big shit, not just the little bitty tiny shit that people do. Just like that screenshot everybody kept passing around. That was tweaked. I know damn good well it was. And I can tell it. See, there's telltale signs on every document, everything that's put online. You can always tell if it's been tweaked or not. And that was just to get you all riled up and pissed off. See, the one person that did a lot of this stuff was trying to get you guys to all fight, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And David, you told me, I think it was yesterday morning, to give him a chance. I told you from the get-go what I thought. And that will never change. Even after I'm dead and gone, that will never change. Ever. There is just some things in life that that is, we talked about the spiritual stuff the other morning. You know damn good and well, boy, you know what I'm talking about. You know I know what I'm talking about. Demonic activity is horrid these days. It's always been. But now we're playing into it. And that's what was going on. It was a lot of demonic activity. A lot. We keep all these fights up and they got worse and worse and worse and worse. And, that's demonic activity. When two people fight, they may talk for the rest of their life. It's no big deal. But they'll end it, let it go, not talk to each other anymore, and just drop it. This has been going on for quite a long, long time. And in fact, I told Draco about it. He and I talked. We've been talking about this kind of stuff for the last couple of weeks. And what you guys don't understand either, I've been trying my hardest to help him out with this kind of stuff because he's not quite understanding all of it, but he's learning. But Dragon said, you've been to church and stuff when you were a kid. You know where I'm going with this. You guys can't let them demons sit on your shoulder. You have to rebuke it. Tell it to go away. When you get those weird little feelings of wanting to fight and argue and carry on, that is a demon sitting on your shoulder. You need to rebuke it immediately. And in Jesus Christ's name. It has to be rebuked. Otherwise, it's going to stick around on your shoulder and it's going to make you meaner and madder. Trust me, I know that from experience. But the one thing I want to say, though, is that eventually, I'm hoping, this is my prayer for you guys, that all of you will knock off the stupid crap. That eventually you guys will learn that all this was just bullshit, stupid crap. And that one day you guys all talk together. It may not be until you're in your 30s or 40s or whatever, but maybe one day you will. That's my hope. I got faith in God. I have faith in my God for that. Because I don't like to see anybody fight. I don't like it. I don't like fights. I hate them. It's not worth usually your time and patience. But if you feel like you're standing up for the right thing, I see that. Okay? I get it. But like I said, because I had him do that, Damien, you popped on there and said, you asked if I was crazy. No, I'm not. It's just that I want him to understand that if he thinks that you're gone for good, and we're not wishing nothing ill on you, it's that he can forget, move on with his life, keep on working, doing what he's got to do to make a living, help at home with bills and stuff like that, like a normal person would do. Draven, you need to find a part-time job, son. You really do, to keep yourself busy. Because a lot of this stuff wouldn't get to you if you did. I got enough in my household to keep me busy for now until the rest of my life, until the day I'm dead, actually. But, Damien, I know that you're having a hard time dealing with all this, and that's just because that you are disabled enough to where you're in a wheelchair, and I understand that, it's hard for you. So I get that. But, you guys got to understand where I'm coming from. I'm not mad at nobody. I get pissy with you guys, and that's just because it just irritates me because it just keeps going. Now it's time to end it. Okay, the soul stealer, or I should say soul stealer, because more or less just trying to steal them. He failed. He failed. But you guys are not seeing that. But anyway, let's work on it. Let's try to keep things peaceful now, okay? That's all I'm asking is try to keep it peaceful.